Josefina Monasterio's Achieving Personal Excellence Training Manual. Call the Alternative Medicine Family Care Center, 778-8877.
Empowerment with Dr. Josefina Monasterio.
Welcome back to Empowerment with Dr. Josefina, and I'm Laura Guttridge. Now I'd like to take a couple of moments to thank several of our sponsors. First off, we'd like to thank Sarah and Susan from Salon V for providing us with our fantastic hairstyles today.
Yes, thank
Valerie
you.
is still on vacation.
Yes.
Hope she's having lots of fun in the sun.
And she deserves her break.
Yes, she works hard all year, so we all deserve vacations.
And she has a very successful business.
Yes.
And that's good to see women with successful businesses.
Of course it is. And that business is located on Easter Lily Drive. Another woman with a successful business is Jasmine's Boutique.
Yes.
And she provides Josefina with some of the lovely outfits and jewelry that you'll see her wearing on the show. And she's located on Ocean Drive.
That's correct.
And then also, of course, the upcoming seminars, if you're interested in them, you can email Dr. Josefina, or you can give her a call at 778-8877.
Yes, yes.
We're continuing the lesson today with the sense of alignment, the emotional alignment, and the last lesson we talked about self-concept, and there were a couple of things that we left out. We got cut short in our conversation.
As always, because
Yes.
we like to talk.
We have too much to talk about. And
But if
I
you
was-
want us to talk more, you have to find us a sponsor so we can be for 1 hour.
Yes,
right,
keep
baby?
that in mind. We want to talk for a full
You have to
hour.
support our show because, you know, people say, I love it, I love it. Well, show me the money.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Go ahead,
Okay.
baby. I can go.
The thing that we had left out that I want to talk about, the self-ideal, that is the person that you would like to be.
Exactly.
And then the other one is the self-image and how you, I like this one, you say it's how you see yourself, how you think others see you, and how you really are.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
And when those things are all in sync, or as you say, in alignment.
Yes.
She likes that word, in alignment.
Isn't it?
In alignment, then we are emotionally happy.
Exactly.
And that makes so much sense to me.
It makes sense, maybe.
And, you know, it's something that you would never typically think about, but when you think about it, because that stops you from living a hypocritical life.
Oh my God,
When
yes.
you are what you project, what you want people, how you want people to see you, how they really do see you, how you think they see you, and how you really are. You're living your life is
in balance.
right, and that is, I find that fascinating.
Me
and
too.
so important.
Me too. But let's stop there because think about this, what you're saying, Laura. Somebody who is not genuine, how can you sleep with yourself?
Right.
How can you project
Like
something
you live your
that
life
you
all mixed up.
Exactly. No wonder you're out of balance because you are not congruent
Right.
with the flow of
See,
life.
I was right. She likes that.
Oh yes, I
In
like my moving my
alignment.
arms. Okay, go ahead.
But you know, it makes me think of a personal thing in my own life. When I waited, you know, I'm a vegetarian, right?
Yes.
And for years, when my husband was going through law school, I waited tables in restaurants, and I hated that because, you know, I'd have to go home and think about all the veal specials that I had to serve. And I felt like I was living a hypocritical life.
I see. She's talking through her own personal experience.
And
Okay.
I was not happy with my life when I waited tables.
Of course.
And then when I finally moved away from that and became a bartender,
Then you were getting them drunk.
I felt much happier.
No wonder you were happy. You were drinking.
I was. But that's why it really makes perfect sense to me, because I felt that sense of imbalance in my life. And that went on for years. And it worked on me. I never expressed it to my family or my husband how I really felt, but it was like that inner sense of imbalance.
Frustration, anger, because you weren't honest with yourself.
Right.
Your belief system was not congruent with what you were doing.
Right.
So that's why what you do has to be the same as you think and feel. And that, you know, your personal experience is that you were miserable.
Yes, I felt like I was a hypocrite.
Yes. There you are defending the animals and you're feeding people animals.
Right. It doesn't work.
It doesn't get any worse than this.
No.
A vegetarian serving veal.
I know it. It's terrible. Oh, and then when they ask you how the special is, I mean, how do you answer that? You know?
Oh, this specialist, Laura
Oh,
says.
it's fabulous.
But that's a great example of living your life out of balance. It has to do with your values and your belief system.
Absolutely.
You know, we're laughing, but it's like, and now that we're looking back, it's funny. But when you were going through that,
It was terrible.
It wasn't
It really
funny.
was. I remember walking from the parking lot to my car, just kind of sloping and moping, you know, feeling my pockets of my change and feeling like, you know, like I sold myself
Yeah.
to the devil kind of thing.
and the money is not good enough,
No.
isn't it?
And I did make good money.
But you
doing
did-
it.
yeah.
Wasn't worth it.
Yeah, but remember when one show we talk about dragging yourself to work?
Oh, yeah.
You were dragging.
I was. I was.
So never ever do something that you are not in balance and agreement that it matches your core value, your ideals, your principle, because you're gonna be like Laura a few years ago, pissed and frustrated and anger because she's serving dead meat.
Yes. It's true.
Okay, let's move on.
Today,
Okay.
the third part of the self-concept, and you refer to this as the reputation that you have with yourself. And
Yes.
It's so interesting, our inner reputation that we have with ourself, and that determines our personality.
Now, stop. Because remember when you were being a waitress and serving animal food, what was the reputation that you have about yourself?
Oh, like I was a terrible person. I was a hypocrite. Sold myself to the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. I felt it was very low self-image.
Absolutely. And then not only that, you have to go home with you.
Right. You can't get away from yourself.
Exactly. And you know, and then you feel like your reputation that
Right.
you have for yourself is not matching.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's where the reputation that you talk about, and so is that what you say that will determine our personality, level of stress, and how happy we are?
Were you stressed out when you're being a waitress? When you just said you were dragging yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You were stressed out because you were not congruent, because you're not following your belief system.
Right.
So there is what happened. You're miserable, stress, it determines your personality. You probably weren't a very, very happy waitress.
No, I was miserable.
Did you get good tips?
I still did pretty good.
It has to do with the look. Forget about your belief system.
Yeah.
It's all about the look.
In that case, I was. But yes, and I wasn't happy. And so when all these things are in alignment, you are happy. And it's sad that at that point in my life, I never had it on paper. I never had someone that would explain that these feelings are normal and I should be feeling that way. I couldn't express it. I could not articulate how I felt. But
Well, if you find yourself like Laura, then you call me. I save you a lot of aggravation.
778-8877.
That's right.
But this all ties in with self-esteem.
Absolutely.
And when you talk about achieving high levels of self-esteem, you say that we must have very clear ideals and values, and that our external behaviors and our highest values and ideals must be consistent with each other. See, this all is connected.
Exactly. So what you were doing wasn't matching your belief system,
Right.
bottom line. And then, of course, you know, like what we were talking about, your self-concept is your ideal self, how you see yourself ideally. And then, of course, the next one is your self-image, how you see yourself. And the one we're talking about today is your self-esteem
Okay.
and how you think about yourself.
Well, and then also, is that where this comes in, where you say to achieve the great sense of balance, you have to determine your values in each area, and they're separate, of health, relationships, and work.
Exactly. Your body, your mind, your spirit, and your emotion. You have those concepts,
Right.
and you have to match them.
Right, so like in my instance, it was with work, but these also apply in areas of relationships and in health.
Exactly. For instance, when we went in the boat that you invited me, like I don't eat pizza. So I was hungry all day. Then what happened, I could not compromise
Yes.
my values because that's not the type of food I eat.
Right.
So because I got no I didn't eat until I got hungry because I knew I was gonna feel miserable, angry, frustrated, and feeling that the next day I have to run 10 miles instead of 8.
Okay.
So my principles and my values are first.
So that explains why as soon as the boat docked, she took off.
I was starving.
I was like, where did Josefina go?
Josefina, she's home. And talking about home,
Home eating grapes.
yes, I don't remember, but we need to take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, baby, bye. Mwah.
Empowerment with Dr. Josefina Monasterio.